Alright, so what I'm going to teach you on this video is how to ply from your hand. I'm going to use one strand of PLARN so that you can maybe see it because it's kind of hard to see the wool on my hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to secure it around your thumb first. This is how I start. Then get yourself a little bit of slack to start with. What you're going to do is you're going to wrap around your wrist and around your finger. And you're going to come back around on the other side, around your wrist and around your finger. And you're going to keep this motion up, going around your finger and around your wrist, building in a figure 8 pattern. So that it builds and builds and builds on your hand. Around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger, around your wrist, around your finger, around your wrist. Okay, I'm going to speed up here. You want to keep this motion up because you're building it on your hand and you're laying all the knots and loops on top of themselves, but you're not actually tying it and you're not laying it together. So we'll slow her down again. See, around the wrist, around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger. And you always want to stay on the same finger so that you get this mount built up on the top of your hand. Again, see how it's building? Around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger, around the wrist, around the finger, around the wrist. Okay, now I've got it all built up on top of my hand here. Got my strand hanging out over here. The other one's attached to my thumb. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take the strand that was on my hand and the loose strand that's hanging in the background, and I'm going to tie those two together. So what you've done is you've tied your two ends together, and the very last loop that you did on your fingers is now the very middle of the single. And that is where your plying will end. So now that you've got that tied and secured, you're going to do something else. You're going to take the mound and you're going to pull it down off your wrist, off of your finger, and then put your hand back through. So that now you've got this nifty little shag of stuff right here that's all put together, but is going to pull apart as you ply. And that's how it starts. Take my drop spindle, hook it here. I spun in a counterclockwise fashion, so now I'm going to spin in a clockwise fashion to ply the strands back on themselves. And that's what we get there, is a nice strand plied back on itself. And all I'm doing is pulling it off of my hands and putting it on my spindle. Show you one more time. Ready? Pulling off of my hand, clockwise fashion, plied strand. Thanks for watching.